Cheech here with Fly Fish Food. I have a really cool fly for you. It's kind of a unique take on a blob. It blinks. You're going to have to watch the video to find out why, but I caught a ton of fish on it one day.
Dude, that's a big brown.
All right, we're going to tie this awesome fly called the blinking blob, and I'm going to show you why. But what you're going to need for this is some sort of white marabou, a darker color like black in a 15 millimeter Fritz, your choice, whatever flavor you like, a 10 millimeter Fritz that's brighter colored, and some 140 denier thread. I'm tying it on a Fulling Mill Heavyweight Champ number 10. All right, here we have the old size 10 Heavyweight Champ. You can tie them bigger or smaller. I think this is a good overall size. When I first started tying these blobs, I always felt like I was eating up the hook gap here because we're going to put a bunch of chenille back in there. But rest assured, this chenille really moves well. And this is why I'm tying this fly. I'm going to show you why I call it the blinking blob, but I kind of have to get everything tied in first for it to make sense. All right, I'm going to take a small tuft of marabou. Hopefully. There we go. And we just want a little bit of white as a hot spot on this one. I use white as a hot spot on blobs all the time. So I've trimmed that flush. I'm just going to grab it with my fingernails real quick. Peel out any under fluff. Well, maybe we should take our thread to the very back. And we're just going to tie this down right here. You can see there's very, very little bulk when you tie in your marabou like that. All right, so tie this down. As you can maybe tell, I had to retie that because when I tried to break it, it pulled all out of there. So I'm going to do it again. And maybe this time I'm going to fan it out a little bit before I grab it. Just like that. Boom. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. And once it's broken, you can just grab a little bit at a time and just pull it out of there. And marabou is tough stuff. So there you go. That's how much marabou you want on there. Just a tiny little bit. You don't cut it with your scissors because then it looks ridiculous. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't need to explain more. It just looks ridiculous. All right, so I've stripped a little bit of the core off of here. I'm going to tie that down. And on this section, I'm just going to do maybe 2 turns. And as you can see, I'm preening these back with my fingers. Sometimes they can get all twisted up, and I'm just giving it its best chance to swim the way that we want it to in the water. And yes, this is a lot of work for a blob, but trust me, this one crushes. I was fishing this one day, and I couldn't believe how effective it was. And then as I was stripping it closer to the boat, I saw the blink. Okay, just wait till the end because it's right at the very end that you see what I mean when I talk about the blink. So. I've got the larger size now. This is the 15 millimeter Fritz, and I've cleaned off some of the core. We'll tie that right in like that and wrap that forward. All right, so on this one, I'm just going to use my fingers to preen it. Sometimes these gel fibers decide to go wherever they want, but when they hit the water, they don't have any say. All right, so I will just continue to wrap that forward. All the way to there. I have this jelly all the way to the front. I'm going to try to wiggle my thread and trap down just a minimal amount of fibers if I can, and just find that core and trim that off. We'll get rid of those haters out in the front, and we're just going to make a little bit of a band. All right, so here we are all finished up. I'm not going to put head cement on it right now because I'm going to get this fly wet now. So there's our finished fly. Why do I call it the blinking blob? When this is in the water, when it's kind of in its resting position and it's just kind of existing, it looks like this. But when it moves, even so subtly, the black covers up the green completely. There's just a little tiny bit of green. And this stuff moves like crazy. So I'm going to show you what it looks like wet. Okay, so this would be what it would look like what it would look like while you're stripping it through the water. So as you can see, barely any yellow, okay? And you can do this without marabou too. I just like it because there's like a little kicker behind there. All right, so when it's going through the water, it's like that. And then when you pause it, it's going to look, paused it, and now we have a whole bunch more bright color showing through. I was fishing this one day, and you know, black and chartreuse are one of my all-time favorite combos. I think it's everybody's. But as I was stripping my fly toward me, I thought that the fly had started to fall apart because I couldn't see any bright stuff on it. Well, when I got it in and paused it, I realized it was still there, and then it dawned on me that my fly was blinking with every strip. So there you have it, the blinking blob. It crushes fish.